Step into the Fieldhouse, your front row seat to legendary victories and untold stories. Hey, I'm your host, Lance Leonard, breaking down sports from the inside out, along with co-host Jimmy Lackey. It's more than just a game. It's the Fieldhouse Podcast. Welcome into the Fieldhouse Podcast. We are a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network, and I'm one of your co-hosts, Lance Leonard. Next to me is CEO, main man here at Kids Inc., Jimmy Lackey. Jimmy, you know the drill. What's the best thing that happened to you today, man?
Well, I had a really, really good meeting with Haley this morning about some things that are going on with our sports management system. And I know that's probably boring to the world, but it's some big stuff for us. It's a lot of fine-tuning of a software program that we had created in 2012. And Jason Turner, who is the one that built it for us, has automated some things for some of these newer sports that we've gotten involved with, particularly select sports for baseball and softball, select sport for NFL flag football, and just some tricks of the trade that it's going to allow us to do inside of our sports management system that we haven't been able to do before. And ultimately, and again, I know this is boring stuff, but one of the things that we've had as a goal between Jason and I since we invented this program was at some point in time it's marketable. It can be marketed to other municipalities, parks and recs programs, other youth sports programs. It could be a residual income for Kids Inc. for a long term. And so we're trying to get this software package to a point where we can put it in a package and market it to outside groups across the country.
Yeah.
And that would be a big deal for Kids Inc. long term. So, yeah, that's nerdy stuff, but getting an update. You know, I've been out on vacation for a little bit, and so getting an update on that and on what's going on. I visited with Jason last night and visited with Haley about it this morning. So, yeah, it was kind of good to get the update on that and something that most people wouldn't care about.
People in business understand, you know, there are programs that make the whole system work better. And if it impacts this type of company throughout the United States, it's big.
So take what I just said, and if we brought Jill Martinez in here, and Jill, for those that don't know Jill was on our staff when I was hired in 95 and worked with me for about 7 years or so back then and had a chance to go and work with her mom. And so she left, and she was gone 20 years, and Jill and David came to our groundbreaking last October, and she said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm looking." I said, "Okay, full-time or part-time?" And she said, "Full-time." Well, I had a part-time job open at the time, but I didn't have a full-time. And so sat on it for a week or two, and I told Craig, I said, "Craig, I think we're silly not to get her back." And so I turned that part-time back into a full-time job to get her back. And it's interesting because none of this stuff that we do and our staff deals with on a daily basis existed when she was here the first time around.
Wow.
She knows who we are, what we do, who we serve, how we serve them.
Right.
But to go through and see the technology that's been put in place that I would hope, and I think most of our staff that's been here for any length of time would tell you makes their job easier.
Yeah.
It was a wow factor to Jill.
That's
and
good.
So that was a good litmus test for all of us to see somebody that was here before, left for 20 years, is now back, and sees how things are being done now. She will tell you it's night and day, and it's to the better of the organization. So those are the things that we've tried to put in place to make everybody's job a little easier.
No, I like that. You never know what you're going to say on the best thing that happened to you. That's why I always ask that.
Well, having 2 hours to get ready for that's probably the best thing so far.
Yeah. Hey,
before I go any farther. They have a National Philanthropy Day every year in November, and they honor people around the community that, particularly philanthropists, which I'm not. We're on the recipient end of those philanthropy gifts a lot of times, but they also do best of in terms of people that are talented in other areas, and one of them is media, the best media person for the year. And this guy sitting next to me, we nominated, and he will be honored in November as the outstanding media partner in Amarillo for this next year. And so I'm proud of you and well-deserved, and we're excited that you're going to be recognized this fall for that.
It meant the world that where I was nominated by Kids Inc. And Jimmy, I thank you so much, and everybody here. It really touched me I'm just going to tell you, I mean, being a newspaper person forever, you get the awards thing, okay? Sometimes you write the greatest story you've ever written, okay? And it's legit. And the person reading the contest or the person may not like your style.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Bottom line. That maybe they're more into the grammar instead of the flavor, Yeah. So sometimes I've entered stuff that I thought was not bad, and it wins. And sometimes I enter stuff that I thought was great, and it wins. So saying that, awards kind of anybody who gets in that journalism business for awards, and there are a lot of them that do that, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? But something like this coming from the community of Amarillo, and then Kids Inc. specifically, I was surprised how much I was touched when Haley called me. You know what I mean? So I'm doing a Meals on Wheels route, and so I usually don't do my phone at all during Meals on Wheels. So Haley's trying to get a hold of me. I guess Jerry Branch texts me. I'm like, I'm on Meals on Wheels. I'll get to you guys later, but. So she goes, I didn't even know you do Meals on Wheels. So yeah, it was fun. Yep. But anyway, thanks a lot for that. Yep. I mean, it's a great honor, and I'm very appreciative.
Yep. Well, we're proud for you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. You have to do an interview though. That's going to go on the screen that day, if you don't mind.
Oh, so I get to talk about you?
You get to talk.
Oh yeah, I'm in. Count me in.
I want the good and the bad. Okay, you know what I mean. Nobody's perft, so yeah.
If anybody knows anything bad about this guy, please get it to me.
There's this out there. Trust me. So I have tested, God's 7 times 70. His lesson to Peter. How many times you can forgive? I'm on Peter's side, 7 times 70. So. But anyway, hey, we're number 80 today, Jimmy, and really, in the scheme of things, it is a no-brainer from when we grew up because of one San Francisco 49er, not to mention the quarterback alone, Joe Montana, and then, of course, so I'm going to steal the thunder real quick, but really Jerry Rice is the – me being a Broncos fan, though, there was a guy named Steve Largent for Seattle and just used to – tear him up.
Well, I was a Seattle fan because Brian Millard played.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, 80.
So he was a teammate.
He was 80.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But Jerry Rice, what he did, coming from Mississippi Valley State, a Division II that we can all relate to here in the 806 area because of West Texas A&M, and making it as big as he did, and becoming without a doubt the greatest wide receiver ever to play the game, and then just everything he's about, but. Jerry Rice, for me, there really is another 80.
Yeah. Hands down, I agree. And I was a 49ers fan, John Ayers.
I didn't know that.
Well, John Ayers played for him.
Okay,
a WT guy playing out there.
I became a big Montana fan. I became a big Bill Walsh fan. I thought Bill Walsh was a mastermind.
What was it about Bill Walsh you liked?
He was a mastermind, and just the way he walked the sidelines, he was methodical and he was analytic, and he brought just something new to the game. Seifert followed him, kind of a little bit the same, but a different duck.
Yeah.
But Walsh really took a bunch of superstars on that team and made them mesh.
Yeah, very true.
And they were so good. Oh my gosh, they were so good.
Yeah.
And
Dallas, San Francisco, those games were as good as it gets.
Yeah, the catch, that was a killer. Montana to Clark, that was brutal. I was rooting for them all the time, but I had a lot of appreciation and respect for what they did. Even more so when John passed away. I went to his funeral. Joe Montana and his wife Jennifer
came. Did you get into the main part of the church?
Hmm?
So you got there way early.
Oh, yeah. I shook hands with him. I couldn't believe how big Montana's hands were.
Oh, okay.
He didn't appear to be a big guy, and he really wasn't, but his hands were huge. They were long.
Okay.
But he and his wife came. Keith Fawnhorst came.
Yeah.
Ronnie Lott came.
Yeah.
That said a lot to me about how tight that team was, and bottom line, they were just good.
Yeah.
They were really, really good for many years. But having that connection from a WT player that played on that offensive line for him for so many years.
I didn't know John that well, obviously. Really didn't have too many deep conversations with him, but I know a lot of people who knew him really well. He was kind of a quiet guy, as I understand it, but so much respect.
Most of the
and Montana talks so highly of him at that time.
Most time I was ever around John is when Terry was around. Terry Funk and I were good friends, and they were the best of friends. Terry and John were the best of friends.
Yeah, they certainly were. Yeah.
Funny story, John's wife, Laurel, was my wife's babysitter and groom growing up. So, yeah, Laurel used to babysit my wife when she was a kiddo. And, her and Betsy are sisters, Betsy Bauman, and their sisters. And so, yeah, they used to keep Kim when she was little. But yeah, John was a big boy, but he and Terry were the best of friends, and so just to sit in the room with them and listen to them go back and forth was quite the entertainment.
Could Terry get him going a little bit?
Oh yeah,
okay.
And back and forth. I mean, they could rib each other, and just to hear them cackle and laugh between the two of them.
That's pretty cool.
It was a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you a quick story, and I probably shouldn't tell this, but it's true. It was when I was running the alumni office. And John owned the land just north of the president's home.
Correct.
I don't know if you know this story or not.
I think I've heard the story, but go.
So
it was John who owned the land, not Terry?
Yeah, John owned that. John owned the land that butted up right to the president's home.
Right.
Terry's was across the road to the north.
President's home was pretty new at this time.
Yeah. And they're having a function out back. And here comes Terry and John on a tractor in their whitey tidies, mooning everybody at the whole event. And I got to be honest with you, I was there, and it was all I could do not to wet my pants laughing because I knew those guys.
You were at the president's
house?
house?
I was out there back. It was just a function of those kind of things that alumni director had to go to, and it was just, for me, it was comical.
Yeah.
I'm sure for the people that were hosting the party, not so much. But I know those two guys, and
they just drove a tractor.
Oh yeah, just pulled the tractor right up to the fence line, drove right down to the east, just turned around and mooned everybody.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the story I heard. I heard like they would set up clay pigeons.
Okay, no, I didn't see any of that.
And then they would happen to be a few strays where they had to shoot them over the house.
I don't know about that part. I just knew about this one time, and I saw it in the flesh. No pun intended.
That's crazy.
Those boys were crazy.
Hey, speaking of great things happening, we mentioned a little bit last time we were on, but you're hosting your dad's tourney, golf tourney. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, that means a lot to the city of Dumas, the school district of Dumas, and to the students of Dumas.
Well, thanks. Yeah, real quickly, 18th and 19th of July will be our tournament. It's been full for 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
So we'll have 54 teams playing for 2 days. They'll play Saturday. We'll have big events Saturday night. We'll feed them and have a big event afterwards, and then finish up on Sunday. But this year is going to put us over the $200,000 mark in terms of the amount of scholarship dollars we've been able to give back to Dumas High School.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. And you spread it out. You give 5 or 7, and what is it?
Well, here's how. So Sherwin Cox taught me how to run a golf tournament years ago, and this is how we do it. So all the sponsor money that we get in for the tournament goes directly to Dumas Education Foundation, who oversees the scholarship account. So the first 3 years, we put all that money back, and so we endowed one scholarship at $1,000. So there's a corpus of money at Dumas Education Foundation that provides a $1,000 scholarship every year from now on in perpetuity for Dad. So we got that in place first. And then what we started doing is all the net proceeds from every tournament each year go into next year's scholarship, what we give out. So it can range anywhere from let me back up. So Emerald College and WT were kind enough, and this was set up back when Russell Hart was the president of Emerald College and Dr. Wendler. And I went to them and I said, would y'all consider, I said, this is a big deal. You have Emerald College has a branch in Dumas.
Yeah.
And, Dumas is a big draw for WT folks. Would y'all consider matching these scholarships? And they said, absolutely. And so
smart.
Yeah, so we probably raise somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 a year off the tournament. Well, and we give our scholarships in $1,000 increments. Well, if any of those kids, and I don't have anything to do with who gets scholarships, the Education Foundation has their own scholarship committee, but I let them know if any of these kids that y'all pick are going to Emerald College or WT, they're going to get a match. And so if we gave out, let's just say we gave out $10,000 one year, and 8 of those kids were going to WT Emerald College, we just gave out $18,000 worth of scholarships. And so it adds up fast.
Yeah.
And thanks to WT and Emerald College, their foundations, for doing that each year. But it's a big event. It's the largest tournament they have in Dumas. And, it's just grown every year. And so many of my dad's ex-athletes come back and play. And,
That's the best
and a lot
thing.
of our friends.
Yeah.
It's a fun 2 days for us, and spend a little time where you grew up, and it's where I learned to play the game. And
Now, what days are those?
18 and 19 of July.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's been full. I think I got the deal from the golf course probably 4 or 5 weeks ago that we were full.
Yeah.
And there's a waiting list, and so they're not going to have any problem filling it if somebody has to back out last minute.
Do you have a starter? Do you need a starter for the Sunday? Make it feel big time.
Well, it's a scramble, so they're all going to be.
It's all
a two-person,
on.
It's a two-person
So
scramble.
it's a shotgun start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You have we play sixums. There's 3 teams on every hole.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got 54 teams out on the
You
course.
can announce them to the first hole, though.
Yeah.
You might think about that.
Yeah.
Make them big time.
It's fun. I had Terry Funk and Ronnie Mankin come be the auctioneers one year. That was a hoot.
Did they do pretty well?
No,
I didn't think so.
No.
No way. They could not stay on point.
but it was funny. So the guys enjoyed it. But it was a one and off.
One and off. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they can't stay on. Those two couldn't stay on point.
No. Oh my gosh, no.
For 5 minutes.
But it was fun.
Hey, anybody driving by Rock Rose right now is seeing some serious construction, a lot of dirt being moved, whatever, turf down, just a lot of action out there. So we always like an update. What's the latest?
Well, my understanding is we've got 2 turf crews in town now. After the 4th, they brought in 2 turf crews. So I really think on the baseball side, you're going to start seeing a lot of movement with turf going down. Bless these guys' hearts, they don't know how to deal with our wind, and the turf guys hate that wind.
And it started this morning even.
Yeah, getting it to roll out, it's difficult for them. But, yeah, it's coming along. All the light poles are up.
Yes.
All on both baseball quads and all of the football and soccer side, all the light poles are up. Would be really nice if we get the electrical hooked up to them, because then they probably would work at night.
Oh,
being cooler at night.
Yeah,
I bet some of them would take advantage of that, but it'll be a little while before all that's hooked up. But, yeah, we've got a water main going through the middle of the complex. It'll tie in from Coulter over to the new road going in. There's so much. I mean, they're putting roofs on buildings. Still a lot of dirt work. They're putting all the concession stands in. One of them has the pad already poured. It's ready to be built on. Everything's stubbed up in it, and so they're getting everything stubbed up on the concessions. It's
just moving along.
Every day that and the landscapers are all putting all their sleeves in. I mean, every time I go out there, you have to find a new path because something else is blocked off.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Every day
the question in my little world I get is still on schedule-ish for, I think you said late March, early April is kind of the there is no exact date, but is that kind of what you're still thinking?
Every week we have that construction meeting every Thursday, and right now the target date it says completion date will be March 9th. Now, that probably won't be the day that we're ready to get on it.
Yeah.
There'll be some things that we've got to do once they hand us the keys, because once they hand us the keys, we can actually start doing things on the facility. Until then, some of that stuff will be off limit.
That's how it works then.
Yeah, it
okay.
is.
Interesting. Yeah.
So until the construction is done, we don't have the keys to the complex.
Yeah.
So, but, we can start – putting things out that we're going to need to put out that aren't out there right now.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff we'll be able to do ahead of time. There's a lot of signage that has to go up and things of that nature. But
is there going to be a grand opening?
Yeah, we'll do some kind of grand opening. I don't know when that will be just yet.
I'm just curious. Yeah.
I would hope that maybe during our spring sports from next May, potentially something in May.
Yeah.
And that's if everything goes on schedule. There's a lot that could change.
Right. Yeah, I think everybody understands that.
I keep hearing we're going to have monsoon weather in the fall, which just sends me over the edge because I'm thinking about all these sports programs we've got coming up in September. And rainouts, they just suck.
Yeah.
You got to redo everything, and I hate that
Mother
for
Nature
staff, and
wins.
I hate it for parents.
Yeah.
'Cause they plan for their kid to play from here to here, and then we got to have makeups but you just have to.
Yeah,
deal
it's
with our
cool
weather.
though, man.
Yeah,
it's way cool. Yeah,
it's fun, and I'm going to give some props to the guys we've been working out at Rick Klein Park, and the crew that's been out there, Craig and Coy and Coach Doan and Albert. I'm telling you what, they've done a great job. They put down full new infield sod on Field 2 yesterday. It was in pretty bad shape. They scraped it all up last week, got it leveled, and put the new sod down yesterday. I went out. I didn't do much helping, but I was out there for a little bit and helped them. It was hot. But, we've got some pictures posted on our Facebook page of that new infield. And it looks really, really nice, and it needed it. That field 2 was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, I mean, I know obviously people have – I know people who play out there, and they're very complimentary. The change is obvious.
Yeah.
The improvement is obvious. You know what I mean? It's
you got a Coach Doan.
And the players love it, and so do the coaches.
John Doan out there that knows baseball fields.
Yeah.
I don't know if he liked coaching better or working fields better because he loves working
Coaches
on
are strange that way, man.
Yeah.
Like I did many an interview, Jimmy, during the spring. Yeah, just come out to the field. You know what I mean? Like at 2 o'clock, and they're out on their tractors doing, mowing the outfield.
We need to get John to come on. We'll have him come on.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. Yeah, plus
tell.
he's trying to, he had his first year experience, or maybe it's 2 now, my gosh, of being an official in the high school world of football as well as basketball as well as baseball. I mean, he wants to be a big-time official, so that would be interesting, his take.
Well, and on top of that, he and Janice have a real estate company they're working with now.
I didn't know that.
They're realtors. And they're plenty busy. But he's spending 4 or 5 hours a day out there at Rick Klein for us.
Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah,
and
I didn't know
there's
Coach.
nobody. It's funny because Coy came in and we hired Coy back in February to handle all of our grounds at all of our facilities.
Yeah.
We stole him from BSA. He oversaw a lot of their campuses, and he walked in my office one day. Craig was off somewhere, and he said, "Jimmy, I need to tell you something." I said, "What that?" And he goes, "I don't know anything about infields." I said, "Well, that makes 2 of us." I said, "But I know 2 guys that do." And I picked up the phone. I called Dick Jones and John Doan both. And John called back, and I said, "Coach, you interested in helping?" He said, "Absolutely." And so he's been helping us for
That's awesome.
couple 3 months now, and so glad to have him because that knowledge you can't you can't get anywhere else. Somebody that's put those in place.
Well, that's good. I mean, this is great for the youth of Amarillo and beyond. You
could tell those boys were proud yesterday when that field was done. They turned that water on. It looks nice.
Yeah, no,
I was proud for them.
They've seen it though. You know what I mean? And trust me, the players and coaches and the fans are going to love that out there. So
speaking of, if anybody's interested, they're about $5,000 a piece for us to get them. We need to replace 5 portable pitching mounds out there. And we can put some signage up and some advertising for your company.
Okay.
But we need to get 5 new pitching mounds out there. The ones that are out there are pretty worn out, and it's time to replace them. So if anybody's interested, give us a call, and we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, I love that. So, hey, basically, I mean, this is kind of the dead area. It's Major League Baseball. Did go to a Rockies game when I was in Denver, and they actually won 15-3. Over the Giants, 2 of the worst teams in baseball. But it was actually very entertaining. As bad as Colorado Rockies play over the years, they still the stadium is gorgeous. Yeah. It was a fireworks night. They let you on the field if your view is blocked. You know what I mean? And they really crank out the fireworks. But I think 48,000 were there that night, so they still draw. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's Denver in the mountains and. It's just a good draw.
Yeah. I just wish they were.
What
better,
did I was out of?
But
town.
I will say this: they had everything's so expensive now. You know what I mean? I mean, just the way it is. But they had this candy on a stick or something. It was amazing, like bacon, whatever it was. And I'm looking at them like I think I got it $12. I mean, I was like, nah, I'm not that hungry. So. But yeah, you really have to take out a loan if you had a family of 6 to feed them at.
What did they
game.
do at Sod Poodle's Stadium this year during the 4th? We were out of town.
They were off. They were in San Antonio. So they actually did it the week before, where they did a drone show on Friday and Saturday, late June, maybe July 1st, whatever those dates were. But one was Ruckus going through on a safari. And it was pretty cool. All these animals would pop up and stuff like that. And then the next one was about the history of the United States.
That's
cool. And things.
I got to do the voiceover for the second one.
That's the one you told me about.
Yeah, I went out and listened. It's weird hearing your own voice over a loudspeaker, though. It was not fun for me, but Rhonda said it was okay, so that's all that matters to me. Yeah. It was good, though. It was a good experience.
We're all critical of our own work.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed actually that opportunity. Tony Inzer, I want to thank you personally, publicly right now for calling me up and saying, hey, why don't you try this?
They had a drone show in Ruidoso we went to.
The drone shows are amazing.
Yeah, they're fun.
This is, I think, 250 drones. They have these massive ones at bigger places of over 1,000, which they can do a lot more. But it's really cool.
So we've been going up to Ruidoso probably for, 7 or 8 years now. And my son-in-law, Colton, his grandparents and parents all go, and they get this same house every year. And it has a deck that faces Grindstone Lake. If anybody's familiar with Ruidoso, there's a little lake down there called Grindstone. It's not real big. But anyway, it's right down below the deck where they stay. And then there's mountains in the background. But over the top of those mountains, about 2 miles over, is the End of the Mountain Gods.
Oh, yeah.
And they have their big fireworks show on the 4th, and we can see them over the top of the mountain.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And but you watch before, and you see people climbing that mountain with flashlights. There's bears and wild horses up in there, but people climb up to the mountain to see the whole thing. We just see the tops of the fireworks coming over the top of the mountain. But yeah, there's people that climb up that mountain. They're crazy. Bears moving around.
Have you ever experienced a bear?
Not up
Camping?
close and personal. No.
Yeah.
We might bait them a little bit over by the trash cans so we can see them at night, and they'll come up to those dumpsters.
Really?
Dumpsters down at the bottom.
Why would you do that?
So you can see a bear. But we're in a truck or something when we go by. We go spotlight.
Down the way.
Yeah, we go spotlighting for them. No, the dumpster's down at the bottom of the hill at the intersection of the two roads. There's not any housing right there by it, and that's where they come. One year, Dave, they pull up to the dumpsters because we always pull up there to see if they're by there, and we're shining our lights. And I'm not kidding you. Dave, he's one of Colton's granddad's good friends, pulls up, and that lid to the dumpster popped up, and that bear was in the dumpster.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, he's probably from me to you at the farthest, and his arm hanging out the door, and, boy, he jumped, and I would have too, and they pulled up a little bit, but the babies came around, and the bear was feeding the babies.
Yeah, with the babies, you don't mess.
Yeah. But
we were in Steamboat Springs. It's called Yampa. It's a great place to camp. They did have straight line winds that knocked down so many trees, which it's unrecognizable from when I was first there. But it's still a great place. But true story, we had about 20 of us camping. My family we used to go when I was in middle school and grade school for a month, and we thought nothing of it. You know what I mean? We would go for a month up there. But anyway, so we're up there, and we have the little, nieces and nephews there. There's one of them's like 5 years old, and they can barely talk at that time. And the little kid's pointing, and he goes, "Bear." Everybody's like, "What?" Sure enough, there's a little cub on top of the little hill just where we camp, and there's a bear right there.
Well, there's a little one. There's a big one somewhere.
Exactly. So we got the heck everybody in, but all of a sudden in the camp, everybody goes, "Bear," and we're like, "What?" Sure enough, there's a bear. So we don't mess with bears. No. Anyway, fly fishing up there is amazing.
I've never fly fished.
You would love it. The thing about fly fishing is simply this: it's not about now if you're really skilled, it is about what you catch and what you bring in. But if you're at my level, it's simply it's a slice of heaven to be in the middle of a stream, waders on, the world is quiet, all you hear is a rushing or a river, and you're just trying to catch a fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever. It is a slice of heaven. You are at peace like you've never felt in your life. It's quiet.
Yeah.
The world is quiet. Where can you possibly get the world that quiet with a stream?
There's a place right outside of Eagle Nest, the creek that runs through Cimarron Canyon. And we've
Big fly fish?
No, we've just gone in there to fish.
Okay.
But just to sit, I don't care if I catch anything.
Just
to sit by that stream.
Yeah.
Take a chair down there. I could sit for hours.
Something about a stream, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hey, I had a couple of things. World Cup, your thoughts on it? I mean, neither of us are big soccer fans. I've watched quite a bit. I am so impressed with the way the world has accepted the United States. Like everybody thought, you come over here, you get robbed right away. Nobody's nice. We're all stuck up. We think we're better than everybody else. But the overwhelming response from fans is, obviously the ranch dressing. Did you? I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
I
saw
did. I went and watched your stuff. It was funny.
The video of the whole suitcase full of ranch dressing. The guy goes, "You have to check this, okay? I'm all for you having this, but it's an item that you have to get checked." But I've been impressed with that, and sometimes we take it granted for what we have, and to see their eyes being opened over barbecue, ranch dressing, but just the politeness in general at the stadiums is impressive.
I watched an interview with a gentleman. They were just asking about his experience in America. He started crying. He said, just said everybody's been so nice, and
they're enthralled with Buc-ee's too.
Yeah,
aren't we all?
Whataburger. Yeah.
So,
I heard one the other day. He was talking to him, and he said, "I'm going back to that Chick-fil-A." And they go, "Well, you can't go today." And he goes, "Why not?" And they go, "They're closed on Sundays." He's like, "Really?"
Yeah. The funniest one I saw, a guy rented. They have those little Mini Coopers or mini.
Oh, yeah.
They have really small cars over there in a lot of the places. When he rented a car, it was a truck like yours, a big truck.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was like proud as all get out. He said, "I got in that truck. I thought," and I'm looking down at people. He goes, he said driving that truck was the best experience he's had in a long time. It's weird. Yeah.
It's funny how, the world sees each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all have
I'm one that likes to get along with people, and I don't understand why it's that hard to do so.
And we have our perceptions of other countries as well.
Sure.
So that opened my eyes. Like maybe until I visit, let's not get an opinion on it. I got to throw one more at you, Jimmy, and you might have something to talk about as well. But yesterday was the Big 12 Media Day. Okay. And Sean Dillon, he's from Rockin' Pregame. It's not a major outlet of Texas Tech, but he had a question for the commissioner, Brent Yormack, of the Big 12 commish. Obviously, Texas Tech is on the spotlight with Sorsby's situation. Sure. So he said, "Hey, you're after Texas Tech with Sorsby, but he never played it down there, and you've done nothing to Cincinnati." Then he went off on the tortillas, saying you banned tortillas, yet Oklahoma State is allowed. They have like something they do, but it was a tradition, so they allowed it and things like that. And then the expansion, he said that 16 teams. Should Texas Tech fans be happy for this or not? The Big 12 commissioner, Sean, was sitting down. I happen to know Sean Dillon, and he was sitting down when he asked the question. The Big 12 commissioner goes, "I need you to ask that question again and stand up." And then kind of comes down off the podium and kind of walks towards him, and he's offended by the question. Like, this is not the time or place. It's media day. It's media day for the Big 12. This is not the time or the place to talk about Texas Tech and Sorsby. You know what I mean? So it caught a lot of conversation going on. And the question, people are criticizing him for the way he asked the question. He mispronounced. He had a unique way to say tortillas, like tortillas or something like that. But anyway, maybe it wasn't the most fluent question, but when you're up doing that, I've been there and done that, and asked some pretty poor, verbiage. The way I addressed the question could have been a lot better. But they're criticizing him for that and things like that. But I think Yormack missed the point. I think you answer the question at media day. He said this is not the time or place. Well, when is the time or place? However, and that was the question everybody asked afterward. But to my disappointment, nobody stood up after Sean's question and said, "Commish, then when is the time or place?" Yeah. Things like that. But my point being, long story short, Jimmy, Texas Tech is now the most hated team in the Big 12. Mm-hmm. Once belonged to Texas. Everybody's jealous, whatever. Now it is Texas Tech, and they are all in on them. And their perception is that the Texas Tech media is trying to defend or what's going on. That's not true at all. But anyway, right now, Tech's in the spotlight, and it's kind of unique because forever, we're trying to break through, and now with the NIL money from Cody Campbell, it's just been crazy. But they are suddenly the most hated team in the Big 12.
Everything is fleeting, and Tech needs to enjoy this spotlight a little bit because it doesn't last forever. But it's anybody with any kind of sense about it at all, it's not hurting them. I mean, I hate that it tainted Tech and Cincinnati's sitting over here scot-free.
Yeah, that was his point.
Yeah, I hate that part. But, if it brings attention to Tech and it's, one thing if you're a player, I would think, and you're a parent of a player, Tech's going to back my kid.
Yeah.
You know, and that's got to be a positive.
I agree.
And so, that's a tough situation. I think they've handled it pretty well, and they've been upfront about the whole scenario about how they're going to support the kid, and he's going to get his degree. And I hate it for the fact that there's the reason they're getting that attention, but I thought they've handled things well. And if it brings attention to them, it'll probably bring some players along the way too, not just in football, but in other sports too, because
it's going to for sure.
It's going to put them on the map.
My only problem with the whole conversation, and if you can go look online on it, but I thought Yormack was very disrespectful to Sean. Okay, to
come off the stage first off.
Well, to say him to stand up and he had to repeat the question. Okay, after he had asked it.
How many other reporters were asked to stand up when they ask a question?
Most of them stand up just generally, like and you do introduce yourself, like
sure.
And he did. He said, I am Sean Dillon of Rockin' Game Pregame, and but it's interesting. I texted with him today, and he said, as cruel as social media is, they're attacking his wife now, things like that. So it's beyond ridiculous. But Yormack could have handled that whole situation a lot better, because that was on the mind of, I don't care if you're Iowa State, BYU, anybody. They wanted a comment from the leaders of your Big 12 on the Texas Tech Sorsby situation. Yeah. They wanted something. And that's why you are in charge, you know what I mean? So,
well,
it was weird. It was strange.
Social media is a double-edged sword, no matter what you say about it. And if you take to heart everything people say about you, you're not going to make it in this world.
No. And he's that way. He just made a comment. Just look, I'm not commenting on it anymore. But my wife had nothing to do with this, so let's just stop that nonsense.
Yeah. I've told people, and I've told staff this before too. Don't bury yourself in all of the hype that's out there. Kids Inc. gets criticized all the time on social media. That's just what people do.
Yeah.
First off, anyone that's ever had something to say out there that's come to talk to me about it, we've usually settled whatever it is. I'll sit down face-to-face and talk about a concern of anybody's anytime. But for those people that just sit behind a keyboard and complain all the time, you know what? I told Haley this morning, boy, I'd hate to be that miserable. I really would. I just hate to be that miserable and sit out there and bash people all day long, whether it's us or anybody else. And
said,
To each his own. I've had more things said about me, and boy, if I took all that to heart, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
So it was an interesting little thing that happened, but
that's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, and the question was meant for an honest answer, and it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
That's too bad.
Yeah. But anyway, that's all I had today. What do you have?
No, I think that's a good wrap up. College football
it's here.
It's getting
Texas
close.
High school football is here.
It's all getting close. And,
The Paladuro Dons. Watch out, Jimmy.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good.
Here's what I'm going to say, and remember this when December rolls around.
Yes.
July 4th is over. Summer's over. Christmas will be here, and it'll be time to start gearing up for a grand opening at Rock Rose.
Yeah.
It's going to happen fast, so I better hang
really
on.
Fast.
The next few months are going to go quickly.
Appreciate the updates on that.
Thanks
always.
for being here.
I get a lot of response from people who listen in and ask me about it. So thanks a lot for doing that.
Yep. Thanks to the girls.
Yes, thank you so much for everybody out there and for what you guys do for us, obviously. So, hey, this was the Fieldhouse Podcast. We are a production of the Kids Inc. Sports Network. Have to get that in. We didn't even talk Kelsey and Taylor.
I don't think there's anything else to say.
Who rents out Madison Square Garden, makes it a garden party? Like I guess you walked in that place, you didn't even know you were in a building.
I haven't seen the details.
The
only detail I've seen, and
I watched too much of it. Adam Sandler was the officiant.
When you're in my business, these are the things you appreciate. I saw where they've donated $26 million to different charities.
$2 million of that was to Dolly Parton.
I saw that.
And that is not to like her Dolly World, but to like that reading program she has for children who are in need. You know what I mean? So you can't get mad at them for that.
When you're in my business, that I understand philanthropy, and I'll go as far as to say this, and I'll shut up. Those people don't have to do that.
No, they don't.
They don't have to do that. They could take their money and go do whatever they want with it. But those folks that's why our community is the way it is, because of all the people that are so benevolent here. And kudos to them for
the question is, did anybody in Amarillo, Texas get to go to the wedding?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh? You know what I mean? There were 1,300 guests.
Wow.
Yeah. So, sorry I got off on that. Hey, we'll see. I like to say we'll see you when we see you. Thanks for joining us on the Fieldhouse Podcast today.